Cryptocurrency is probably the most confusing financial market. After all, it is the first attempt in human history to create a decentralized currency. Much of the confusion in crypto does not stem from crypto itself being particularly confusing. This is one of the reasons why people now believe in a set of insidious myths about the market as a whole. In this video, we will be looking at 5 of the most common myths and we'll be debunking them as we go. Before we dive into the list, make sure you are subscribed to our channel so we can reach you with our juicy content every single week. Now, back to the video. Many people believe that cryptocurrencies are merely a fad that will soon quietly go away. Various people have argued that cryptocurrency is just like the tulip craze in the 17th century. Tulip mania was, well, a weird period in time when a certain species of tulip sold for extraordinary prices because of its shape. Unsurprisingly, that mania crashed and never happened again. Now, in October 2018, while Bitcoin was barely recovering from its most significant price drop yet, respected economists argued that Bitcoin was a giant scam. It's no surprise that statements like that often come during bear markets, which are markets where crypto suffers a significant crunch. But whatever your opinion on cryptocurrency is, they are changing the way we think about money, invest money, and spend money. The most important utility of crypto is that it gives decentralized networks and individuals the capacity to own their money. The innovations that crypto has pushed in terms of transparency alone means that it will always be around and will always have utility. There is probably no bigger evidence that cryptocurrencies are here to stay than the fact that even central banks have started creating theirs. Now, this myth takes a tiny element of truth and makes it into something that is not only ridiculous but also untrue. People think that cryptocurrencies are dangerous to the environment because of something called proof of work. Proof of work means that computers on the decentralized network must complete complex algorithmic problems quickly to prove that they have a stake in the network. What this essentially means is that some networks make use of computing power to verify cryptocurrency transactions and add new crypto to the network. In the beginning, one could use cheap laptops to complete these problems. Today, these computers that can solve these algorithmic problems are expensive and consume vast amount of energy. That is why people think that this energy consumption is bad for the environment. But there are 2 reasons why the effect of crypto on the environment is so overblown. The first is that there are very few decentralized networks that run on proof of work. Instead, most of them run on proof of stake, which is a consensus mechanism that does the same thing and uses 99% less energy. And a lot of them are switching to the less evil option already. The second reason is that there is a big effort by miners of Bitcoin, the largest proof of work network, to ensure that the network uses green energy instead of cheap fossil fuels. And these efforts have had some success. So, if one said that Bitcoin was bad for the environment, that might be a true statement. However, extrapolating that to all of crypto just makes it a myth, since there is far more to crypto than Bitcoin. One of the biggest myths about crypto is that it is mainly an avenue for crime. That is simply untrue. Crypto is a financial market, and like every other financial market to have ever existed in human history, it has criminal players. Before the birth of crypto, money launderers made use of traditional financial markets and they were often successful. That certainly does not mean that those markets were a den of thieves. Research has shown that there is far less illegal activity in crypto than you might think. And many of these offenses committed through the blockchain are petty ones. They are not huge serious crimes like human trafficking, money laundering, or terrorism. People believe that since cryptocurrency is unregulated, which is another myth, it would essentially be a free-for-all market where thieves smuggle all they have. It is not particularly easy to launder money through crypto. Law enforcement agencies can target illicit coins and make them tainted. Lastly, an overwhelming majority of cryptocurrency trades happen on centralized networks. These networks are regulated by the government just like any other conventional bank. To be sure, this idea that crypto is a wild west where anything goes is simply not true and is a complete myth. To be fair, it's not your fault if you believe this myth. After all, crypto was founded on the idea that centralization and its corresponding regulations are bad. But that's only in theory. In reality, most trades that happen in crypto are on centralized exchanges, and these exchanges exist within regulations. Aside from that, the United States has demonstrated a willingness to provide a regulatory framework for crypto. In March 2022, President Biden signed a bill to ensure the responsible development of digital assets. Crypto exchanges that want to be established in the States have to get a license that they fall under the regulatory scope of the Bank Secrecy Act. Aside from that, the SEC said that it considers crypto to be securities. and as such apply security laws to digital wallets and exchanges. So, as crypto continues to grow, the regulatory framework around it will also grow and become more resilient as well. Now, there are two kinds of people who talk about crypto. There are the ones who say it's all a scam, and there are the ones who say that it's the best thing since sliced bread. Neither side is entirely correct. There are a lot of dubious projects in crypto, and if you invest in them, you will, well, obviously lose money. If you rush into the ecosystem because of fear of missing out, you will most likely suffer for it. Again, there is no shortage of crypto scams, and many of them appear like real projects. That's why it's super important to be very careful when investing in crypto. To be short, if you can't take care to learn about the coins you want to buy, you should not bother with crypto. It's not for everyone. Now, let's see if we can find the flip side for this. There are still plenty of unregulated exchanges in the crypto space. FTX was one of them. Look what happened. Some oversized scams like FTX and Luna could affect a sizable minority of crypto users. This is despite scams generally contributing a low percentage of crypto's trade volume. It is important to dispel myth in the crypto space. If these myths are allowed to grow, they might warp the expectations of people investing in the ecosystem and eventually spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It is also important to understand why people believe these falsehoods and why they are not reflected in reality. Now it's your time to click subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week.